Hey everyone, welcome back. I'm so happy you're here, and of course, we hope you already have an amazing day so far. For everyone who is new here, welcome. My name is Janny, and I'm doing this DIY channel together with Dyanne. On this channel, you will find lots and lots of seasonal decor DIYs and daily decor DIYs. So, enough to see. We hope you enjoy it, and of course, if you're not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button and give it a thumbs up. It would help our channel a lot to grow. So enough talking, let's jump into today's DIY inspiration. And here you see what we will need for this DIY. Of course, our tumbling tower blocks. What would we do without them? I think I'm going to use some twine or some ribbon. Of course, I have here my little container with my scissors, my cutting tools, of course my brushes, some markers, and of course some pencil. Choose any paint you like, or maybe some wax. I use my wood glue, but you can use also your hot glue or maybe something else. Just do whatever you think is right for your DIY. But the greatest thing about wood glue is that your DIY stays better, because with hot glue sometimes it breaks, but you have to be careful. So these are the main things what we need for this DIY. What we're going to make, we are going to make a reindeer, but a reindeer's head, but we're going to make it on a stand. So it will be a little bit different like always. So I hope you do this DIY together with me. So the first thing what we're going to do, we're going to make the bottom, and we're going to get 5 blocks. Like this. We're going to glue them on the side. This is 1, number 2, number 3, and number 4, because number 5 will be the closure up. And again, squeeze it, press it together, and make a nice straight line again. And this way. And we're going to let this dry. We're going to get 5 blocks again. And we do the same. Again, on this side, on this side, on this side, and the last. And we're going to, again, squeeze it, press it together, and put it down and make a nice straight line again. You see already this one is a little bit bigger, but we are going to work with it. We give it a little bit of space in between, so it looks a little bit more that it is a straight line. Of course, I have to work with it this way. And now I'm going to let it dry in a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to get my wet towel, always an old wet towel on a saucer, and then you can wipe away very easy this way your glue, because you don't want your DIY to mess up with the glue. So again, give it a couple of minutes. So we did give the 2 pieces a couple of minutes, and we're going to lay this on the side and do some glue. So over here, and we're going to place it down carefully because it is still not dry. And of course, we're going to glue it together this way. Make a nice, give some nice pressure on top of it so everything sticks nicely together. And we have already the bottom of our mousse. I call it mousse. I don't know why I call it every time mousse or reindeer. I think it's the same. At least with me it's always different. Because you get English and Dutch to each other. So we're going to let this dry in. So this one is drying in. We are going to get again 4 blocks, because I think it's a little bit plain this way. So I'm going to do a little bit extra. I'm going to do again 4 blocks, and I'm going to do them together also. And the 4th will be the closure up. Squeeze it, press it down, and give it a little time to rest. And again 4 blocks. You see already, if you're looking carefully, the blocks are, all of them are different sizes. Sometimes I don't know how they do it, but it is, and we have to work with it because we can't throw them away. Squeeze it, press it together, and let it rest in for a couple of minutes. Also this too, we are going to glue together. Just do some glue on the tops, and we are going to place it against each other as best as we can and press it this way, and also give this a couple of minutes to dry in. So, and what we're going to do, both of them are dried in a little bit. I'm going to do some glue over here, very easy, just in the middle, but take every block with you, because we want to that everything dries very nicely. We are going to carefully, because it's still not totally dry, we are going to place it in the middle. And this way we're going to give it a little bit of pressure and make sure that you get a straight line as best as you can. And we're going to press it and we're going to let this dry in, and then we already have the bottom of our now we call it a reindeer, but of course you call it a reindeer. It's almost the same. I have to think there. It slipped my mind. So I'm going to let this rest. So now we're going to do the bottom for everyone who is using the smaller blocks. We are going to do 8, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 blocks in a row, glued together, 8 blocks glued together, and here again 8. And we're going to place them together. It's a little bit wider than with the bigger blocks, but if you go for 2, it's smaller, and then it's very difficult to make a reindeer on top of here. So I would go for 3 times 8 glued together, and then again you make a set of 2 times 8, and you are going to glue them also on top, the same like I did with the bigger blocks. So you have one series with 3 blocks of 8, and you have a series with 2 blocks of 8, and you glue this 2 of 8 on top of the 3 blocks of 8, and then you also have the same bottom like I have. In the meantime, while this is drying, we are going to get 3 blocks and we're going to glue them together, because we are going to make squares. We're going to make the neck of the reindeer. Again, 2 pieces, glue together, squeeze it and press it down, and we already have 1. And we're going to make 4. And I hope that the blocks are working a little bit with me for gluing them together, because or else we get a really crooked mousse. So we are going to, this is number 2. And we're going to go for number 3. And this way you only need to glue 2 pieces. And the third one always is the closure up. Squeeze it. And we're going to go for the last 3, and this will be 1 square, but of course we need more squares like this. So again, squeeze it, press it down, and also you see here this one is again a little smaller, and we're going to let this dry in. And for everyone who is using the smaller blocks, we are going to make our square for 5 pieces glue together, and you make them 4 times, then you have your first square. But you need 4 squares, so you need to make 16 pieces of 5. And in a moment you see from 4 pieces that we make a nice square. You see already a nice piece of this, but with the bigger blocks you can see how it's really done if you're not familiar with it. But you make 16 pieces of 5 because you need 4 layers for his neck. So now I'm going to make my square from the bigger blocks, but it's the same when you do it with the smaller blocks, so it doesn't matter. The way is the same. We are going to glue it, and this way, this is already number 1. We're going to do again some glue on this side. We're going to place it over here. So not this one is on the front side, on the top side, and this one is against it, and this one will be 1 glue on this side and some glue on this side. So again, I'm doing it on this side, and this one will be on the little line over here at the ending. And if everything is correctly, you can easily squeeze it in and make your own cute square. Again, you have to work a little bit with it and give it a little bit of pressure and then let it dry. So now I have a 1 square already, but I need of course 2 squares higher. So I need again 8 pieces of 3 extra, because I need 2 layers extra. But like I told you, if you use the smaller blocks, I would go for 4 high. So I'm going to make 3 blocks again, glue together, but I need that 8 times, but I will do it a little bit faster. So I have my 8 pieces of 3 and I'm going to do very carefully glue them together because then they can dry in totally. But of course be careful because they are still not dried up. So again, this is one. We're going to do very carefully some glue on this one. And we're going to place it over here. And now we only need this one. It will be one on the top. Of course, I have to look for where I want to glue it and which size is the best, because the blocks are totally different from each other. And again, we're going to squeeze it in and make sure that we have a nice square this way. And we're going to give it a little bit of pressure, not too much. And we're going to let this dry. So my 3 squares are over here, and this one is already dried in very nicely. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue on the inside as best as I can, this way, over here, and now I'm going to place the second one I made on top of here. I just turned it around this way, the way it fits the best. And if everything is correctly, then this one fits the nicest. So again, I'm just going to place it on top, give it a little bit of pressure, not too much. And I'm going to do some glue also for the other one, but I'm going to wait a little. But this glue, you can even already do it on top, and you can even wait 20 minutes. That's a great thing. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to place this one also on top. Then we have it 3 high, and it has to be very dry because we are going to get our jigsaw and we're going to saw it off. So now I'm going to place number 3 on top, and I hope I have the right way. If everything is correctly, I have to measure and feel with my fingers. Just that's the most important. Just feel with your fingers if it doesn't have too much overlay like this. And I think he looks very nice, and I'm going to give it a little bit of pressure, and we're going to let this one really dry in before we're going to get our saw, and we can saw a little bit sideways. And here you see, of course, we have the neck of our reindeer, we have the bottom of our reindeer, and of course later I tell you how we going to sew it across the lines. You see that in a moment. We're going to place this apart because it still needs to dry up a little bit better, because if I'm going to sew right now, it just breaks apart. So that's not what we want. We want now to have 5 blocks, or maybe 4. I don't know if I am correctly this. No, 5 is for me too much. I'm going to go, if you used bigger blocks, I would go for 4 blocks. So again, we are going to, I have to look for, yes, these measurements are right. I'm just going to do with 4 blocks. But of course, if you want to have a bigger face of your reindeer, it's also fine too. But I'm going to go for just 4 blocks wide. And again, squeeze it and press it together in one straight line. And we're going to do another row of 4. And again, do some glue on block number 1 and block number 2 and block number 3. And number 4 is again the closure up. And you see already I have 2 bigger ones and 2 smaller ones. And for a face, that's not a great thing. So I'm going to leave this 2 behind. And I'm going to get 2 blocks again, and I hope that this one are the same measurements. We will see. I think they are, and I hope this one also is. So then we have 4 of the same, and we're going to use this in a moment for the layer on top. But we're going to give this to a little rest for a couple of minutes. So I let it dry in a couple of minutes. I'm going to do some glue on the tops of one of them, and we're going to lay it down and place them together this way. And we're going to let this also a couple of minutes dry in. You know already you the drill, what it is. Always a couple of minutes drying like this. And we're going to go further with the top, the layer on top here. So now we're going to do a layer on top of this one. This one is 4 blocks and I'm going to do a layer. I already have 2 and I measured out. I have 1 block which is fitting also. So I'm going to do some glue and then I have 3 again and then I even have my blocks used again. And this way, and I'm going to squeeze it and press it together this way. And now I'm going to look for 3 blocks which are also fitting together and also fitting on here, because we don't want that there is so many size difference, at least not for the front of a face. And again we're going to glue 3 of them together, and this is 1 and this is the number 2 and the closure up number 3. Squeeze it and again remove the glue we don't need, and you see it is still not dried up. Redo it and let it dry in. So, and now I'm going to do some glue also on this top, and I'm going to place it down and do this two together and give it a little bit of pressure, and also a couple of minutes again. So now I'm going to go for the piece with the 4 blocks. I'm going to do some glue on the back side over here, just from block to block and this way, and we're going to place it in the middle. And again, make sure that you have it in a straight line and get it as fitting as you can. Of course, feel with your fingers again and make sure that you give it some pressure and a couple of minutes rest time. So now our piece is resting off his head. We are going to show you for the smaller blocks. You need 6 blocks in a row, 6 blocks in a row, 6 blocks in a row. You're going to glue them together this way, and then you already have the under layer. And for the top layer of this one, you take very simple 5 blocks. So again, 3 blocks of 5. Glue them together and place them on top of the 6th one. So very easy, and then you also have the same like I have here. So very easy. 6 down, 6 down, 6 down, 5, 5, 5, and glue together. Very easy. So what I'm going to do, because this is drying right now, I'm going to get 2 blocks, but I have to be sure that all the blocks are the same measurement. And you see already this block is totally offline. So I'm going to do it for this one, and I think this one are not always. I think this one is also totally offline. He's really cut out really bad. So I'm going to go for 2 blocks and we're going to let this rest, because this is going to be the ears, and I'm going to saw them also. But I show you that in a moment when it is dried up. We give it a little bit of pressure. And of course also over here a little bit of pressure, and wipe away the glue you don't need for a better result, like this. And we're going to wait for a moment. If you use the smaller blocks, I would go for 2 simple blocks glued together and then make with a pencil some ear on top of here. But if you want to do it a little bit bigger, then I would go for 4 blocks. So 2 here and 2 over here. So very easy. And then glue them together, and then you can saw out. And of course you don't need the total of the block. I would go a little bit more like this and then cut it sideways, so your ears can be a little bit offline. So, and this is what I do with small blocks. So now we're going to make the antlers, and of course you can use for the antlers a piece of a branch. You can use some branches from outside, from a tree. I'm going to make them from tumbling tower blocks. You don't have to like it, maybe I don't even like it, but I am going to try it and hope for the best that it will, because I always have one thing, and it's trying to make everything from the block. So we are going to make 2 blocks. We're going to lay them this way. We are going to glue 2 of the pieces. We are going to do one this way, and of course this one this way, and the other one on the underside over here. And of course they will be sideways on his head, but that is later. So first what we're going to do is I'm going to give a drop of glue over here, and I'm going to glue this a little bit sideways over here and this way. Keep it in place for a little moment until it is dried up, and I'm going to do for this one, but of course the opposite direction. I'm going to do some glue over here, and that's why I make them together. So I'm trying to get the same result like I have on this side. So I'm going to glue it and press a little bit down, and I'm going to look for if I have almost identical the same, and I do, and squeeze a little bit until it is a little bit got into the wood. And this way I'm going to give it a couple of minutes. So you see I have both of them identical, one this straight to this line, and I'm going to do a little bit of drop on the back side of this one, so a little bit of glue, and I'm going to place it down and make sure that I have it, I think, a little bit sideways over here like this. And I'm going to, you just have to go on your feeling, what you think would be more like an antler. I can tell you exactly how you must do it, but everyone makes them their own way. So now we have one of them glued together. I'm going to place this one a little sideways, the same like I have this one, and you can measure it out. If you take another block, you can go for this one and place this one against the line. Then you always have the same measurement you will have when they are on their ears. Of course, we can do some glue also on this side. It doesn't matter which side you're going to glue it on. Of course, I'm going to place it over here and make sure that I have the lines this way. And of course, we can remove the glue because I want to make sure that I have all of them on the same place, a little like this, and I'm going to give it some pressure and make sure that everything glues together, and I'm going to wipe away the glue I don't need on this side. So now I have both of them. Of course, in a moment I'm going to get my ruler and my pencil, and I'm going to cut off a little piece sideways, and of course on this one the same, because they have to be on his ear, so I have to go this way and this way. And of course for the smaller blocks it is easy, just one block, because you are the lucky that it is already very small. I would not go for 3, but I would go for the 4th one also on top of here, one this way, and if you place them this way you have nice antlers, so I would go for 4. So, and to measure out the ears is very easy. You just take your loose block again, you place it inside and you place it over here, and this one against here, so you have the right measurement. Then you're going to get a ruler, and you just very simply over here with, when the cross is coming together from this side to this side, in the point over here, you place your ruler this way, and I'm going to go from this side to the other side, from over here. Oh, you see already, he's already gone. So make sure that you keep it in place and do not the way I do it. Make sure that you have it in a straight line and press it down. Over here we're going to do for this one, and we're going to do it for this one. So they are very fitting on top of the head of the reindeer. I know this is different. This is a different reindeer. It is more like a fantasy reindeer. Over here, and now we are going to get the saw and we're going to saw it out. So we have the pieces which we need to saw out already on our antlers. We're also going to make our ears. So very easy. Lay them exactly next to each other because you want to have the same ears. And I'm going to get my ruler on top, and this is for me the half. So I'm just going to do little stripes over here and a little stripe over here, a little stripe over here, and a little stripe over here, like this. And now I have 2 points where I can go to the middle of this one. So very easy. You just take the little dot you made and you're going to go to the half of the block over here, like this way. So I'm going to do it this way, and I'm going to make a nice line for the ears. This is already one, And we're going to go for the other one. I will show it to you a little bit closer in a moment. So I'm going to do over here. And I hope I have them now in a straight line. So you see, these are already the points of the ears, and I think mine are a little bit too wide. So I'm going to cut off a little piece here and a little piece over here. So very easy, because I think they are a little bit too wide, but I have to cut out to see if I like it or not. But you can choose any size you like. Now we have our antlers, our ears, and of course I'm going to go now for his neck to make the lines. I was thinking for the first square I would go for this side to this side, but if I measured it out, the head was really laying down to backwards, and I don't like it because it has to look to you. So I didn't like it, so I measured out. We are going to do from the middle block, we are going to measure out the half and make a little stripe over here. This one is 7 centimeters, is 3.5 over here. And of course to this point, and I'm going to get my ruler and I'm going to go very easy from this line until this line. And then I'm going to go, and then my head of my reindeer is a little bit better situated, because I don't like it when he's going totally to the back. So you see already I had the line first above this one. This was my idea first, but he was really too backwards. So I'm going to go for this one. So again, from this side to the half of the middle block. If you use the smaller blocks, of course, you have to look a little bit how you want to have your head. But I think you have 4 blocks high. I would go at least, I think 2 blocks high, and then cut it off if I was you. But of course, you have to like what you see. But for the smaller blocks, I would go from 2 blocks from this side to this side. So I'm going to do the other side the same. You see already I had it over here also, and I'm going to measure out right now for the half, because we want to have a little stripe of 3.5 over here. And I'm going to make it this line over here, and I'm going to go from this side until the little piece over here, like this. And of course you have to take your time for it, and I'm now wasting your time because I have to measure it out again. So again, make a line and this way, and I'm going to get my razor, and I'm just going to cut it do this piece away. But of course, if you cut it, it is already away, so you don't have to do it the way I do it. So I'm going to get my jigsaw and of my hand saw, and I'm going to saw it out. And you see already the antlers, I did cut off a little piece. I have my ears. The ears were a little bit of a struggle to get them fitting inside, because I also have antlers. And this is the side, you see. On this front is coming the head of the reindeer, and this will be this one. So this will be on top of each other. So what we're going to do first is going to glue my ears, because the ears will be in the first layer of our blocks and the antlers on the other layer. And if everything is correctly, it will fit. So here will be the ears like this on top of here, and there will be the antlers, but the antlers will be in the black color. I will glue them later, but first I'm going to glue my ears on top. So I will do some glue on this side of the ears, and I'm going to place them, of course, this way. I turned over the head, and I'm going to glue this one over here, and I'm going to glue this one on the other side. So I do a little bit of glue extra because I want to keep it very steady. And again, glue it over here, and I'm going to let this rest for a couple of minutes. So you see the ears are drying right now, and now everything is ready to paint. Before, if I glue further, I can't paint anymore, because I want this, the stand, I want to have the bottom in the black. I want this and this in the brown color. I don't know which brown color. And I will do the antlers also in the black color. So I'm going to get my paint, and I'm going to paint all the pieces. And you see, I chose for the bottom, I chose for the color black, and I use very easy and cheap black schoolboard paint, because this, I think I pay 1.79 for one little can, and you do so long with it. I'm going to do my bottom like I told you, and the antlers with the black. But if you are maybe a glam lady, then maybe you can also spray paint it in the gold color or silver, and maybe the antlers also in the gold and silver. So you can do endless ways, and especially the way you like it. That's always the most important thing. So I'm going to finish this off in the black color, and then we're going to do the other pieces. So you see, I painted this black, and for the other color I'm going to go for the dark brown or a little bit of the chocolate brown. So I'm going to debate with me, but then I'm going to do this one and this one in the brown color. You see, I painted all the pieces. What I totally forgot was one styrofoam ball, or maybe a wooden bead. It doesn't matter, but I have a styrofoam ball, and I'm going to do it in half, because I only need the half on top of our reindeer. And did get my knife, and I'm going to go very easy and gently around the ball, and I hope that he will go very nicely in two parts, and without as less. So you see, this one is a really nice cut, and I'm going to paint this one in the darker red color, this color, to give it the nose. Of course, all the parts are almost dried in, only the nose is still a little bit wet. But I'm going to make first for his head, I'm going to make from a piece of twine, and you see I have not the thickest twine, a little bit thinner. So I'm going to make a couple of layers, and I'm going to make a nice bow, but you can do also some hair if you like that a little bit better. I'm going to get this part, I'm going to cut all of them open this way, and this is just a very simple bow, because I'm not a great bow maker. There are here on YouTube so many beautiful bow makers. So if you want one of the greatest one who can make bows is Arlen from Arlen's Country Craft Corner. So if you want to make beautiful bows, go visit her, because she has amazing talent for making bows. I'm going to just very easy make a nice little bow, or maybe, yeah, you call it bow here. In the Netherlands we call it a strik. So it's a little bit difficult with my bandit on, but I'm going to do my best. It's a little bit of a struggle. I'm going to do it a little bit better. I don't get it through the little opening because my finger is stuck. So I'm going to do it this way and this way and this way. And how easy is this? This is just the way you tie your shoes. And you can make it as big as you want. I want to have it a little bit smaller, because when you pull it out, it's always a little bit bigger. So I can place it over here. Of course, this will be shorter. Don't worry. This is very big. So I'm going to make it a little bit more fitting. And I'm going to cut off a big piece, because I don't want to have it that long. And of course I'm going to do it also over this side, and I'm going to place it on top of here. So, and then I have a little bit of a measurement where I want to have my nose and my eyes, because I'm going to try to make the eyes myself with some markers. But I'm, like a lot of you know, a bad a person who can make eyes and nose, but I'm going to do my best. So I'm going to glue this on top of here. So I'm going to make it myself easy. I'm just take two little wooden rounds, and I'm going to get my white chalk paint marker. And of course you can use simply chalk paint. And I'm going to color this in the white color. I give it a little bit of time, because I want to have it nicely white. And then I go in with my black one to make a little, yeah, here in the net we call it pupil. I don't know if you call the black spot in your eyes also a pupil, but we call it pupil. So I don't know if this is in English the same, but I Of course, I will hear in the comments down below if I am right or not. So, and here you see how one eye turned out. Of course, I did my best. I'm going to glue them on top of here, and then I'm going to glue the nose under it. So now I'm going to glue the nose under the eyes. Of course, I just do a little bit of glue in the middle over here and just dab it off. And I'm going to place it exactly under his eyes this way. And now I'm going to debate what I will do here, because I think this space is a little bit too long. I think I'm going to do a kind of a scarf under here, but you also can give it a mouth if you like that also. So I'm still debating what I'm going to do. So I was a little bit struggling if I want to do a mouth or not. So I just made a little sketch because I want to take you just along with me in my journey to learn how you make faces. I did with just a mark of a pencil. I just made already the mouth on here, and now I'm going to do it with a black marker. I'm going to go over it because with paint I am a little bit too scared yet. So I'm going to do it with a marker, but if you're really great in painting, you will have probably a nice looking reindeer. So I'm going to do it with this marker. So I have now my mouth, of course, but I am still missing something here, and I don't know if ribbon will do it. I am going to take a risk. I'm going to get my black chalkboard paint and I'm going to make a nice little piece under here in the black color. I don't know, maybe it is totally wrong and you don't have to do it. It's just an experiment. I'm just going to make this under piece black, and then we're going to glue everything together, and you see then the quick impression. But of course, I'm going to try. I don't really have no idea if it will work or not. Maybe I'm going totally wrong. But that's something with DIY. You have to take sometimes a little bit of a risk. So I'm going to finish this off and then we're going to glue everything together. And here you see how he turned out. I think he looks very much better than I did before I did the black line around it. But of course, it's not everyone's cup of tea. What I'm going to do, I'm going to glue now the antlers on top. They are dried in, and we're going to give them a little place on the back side. So very easy. We do some glue. And of course, we have to do it a little bit careful because or else we will mess it up. And that's not what we want. We do a little glue over here. And we do on this one a little glue on the sides. And we're going to place it on the back side. And very carefully. And we do this one over here. Also on the ending. And we're going to squeeze it. And we make sure that everything sticks nicely together. So the antlers are drying and I'm going to do the base of the reindeer on top of his bottom. So very easy, just do some glue on the underside, a little in the middle, at least as close as you can with the opening, and this way. And we're going to place, of course, I have to look for which will be the front. And I'm going to go for over here, and I'm going to make sure that I have a straight line, and I'm going to let this dry. Is the glue coming out? Take a simple small little brush and wipe away the glue you don't need, and then let it dry in. I placed you a little bit closer. What I'm going to do, I'm going to do some glue on the inside of my frame, so very over here, and a little bit extra on the top because it needs to hold his head and it is a little bit heavy. And I'm going to go over here. I'm going to go on the inside over here and over here. And I'm going to let this dry in for a couple of minutes before I'm going to do his head on top. So I'm going to wait a couple of minutes and then I'm going to turn it over with the back side to myself. And then I can very easily see the back side of his head and very easy glue this on top of each other. So you see I place the back side to myself and I'm going to have his head over here. And what I'm going to do, I'm just going to look for where I want to have it on the back side. And this way I can change it better than, and now I'm going to squeeze it and keep everything in place until a couple of minutes, and then I'm going to let it dry. And here you see a quick impression of our tumbler towel blocks reindeer with a twist. Of course, he is different than normally, but I love that he is on a stand and you can place him anywhere you like. Of course, I hope you took out your tumbler towel blocks too and did this DIY together with me. And you have right now your own cute little reindeer. And if you're only here to watch, of course, I hope you had fun watching. If you want to see more DIYs, come on over to our description box. There you find the link for our DIY channels. Of course, if you're not subscribed to our channel, we hope you will click the red subscribe button and tick the bell and give it a thumbs up. It would help our channel a lot to grow. So thank you in advance. And of course, we wish you all an amazing day and hope to see you next time. Bye.